Hey guys, and welcome to game number 88 out of 100 of the Mack vs. Machine series, where I'll be playing 100 games of Scrabble against the top online bot, HastyBot. We're still sitting at 52.5 wins, so the series has been clinched, but we're coming off of a tough loss in game 87 that I definitely should have won, so hoping to get some redemption here and get a win in game number 88. So let's get started. Not a great start for us here. We've got bunch of vowels on this opening rack. We could consider exchanging. We could consider making a play like O for 6, keeping C-E-E-N. Could also play Iku for 10, keeping A-E-E-N. I think I'm partial to exchanging, though, here. It's not like playing gets all that many points, and you're giving back a lot of floaters to your opponent early in the game, so just maximizing their bingo percentage. Also, Iku, they leave A-E-E-N is pretty foul heavy, so I think it's a small price to pay to exchange E-E-U, keep the most balanced A-C-E-N. E-E-C-N isn't terrible after O, but definitely unduplicating the E and keeping the A is way better, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, vary by the bot, and not the greatest draw for us here. We pick up the G along with a few more vowels. So I think I'll probably use the O hook over here. Actually, you know what? A nice thing about this is it sets up another C hook. So vary takes an O to make ovary, and then ovary takes a C to make covary. So if I just play ego here, that's actually a really strong play because it sets up my C for the next turn for a word coming down the E column. So that looks extremely strong. I'm going to go ahead and play that. It's worth mentioning that on this rack, if he had given me a Z, I'd have cousinage. So believe it or not, a Z would have given me a bingo, as crazy as that sounds. But no such luck here, so that looks good. And now what? So I got decent rack here. I got the R, which works really well, but the B is a bit clunky. Carabine with an I, but not going to happen here. Almost Baranka, but not quite. So, if I do something with covary, what do I have there? Carb, I guess? 30 points keeping AEN, that's not bad. What if I want to play something a little bit shorter? There's not much. I mean, it's not worth it to play something like BA for 13. That's way too many points to give up at this stage in the game, I have to imagine. So maybe, how about Bracken, 36? I could also be very aggressive and play back, setting up the A for a back. Is that worth it? 6A still unseen. So the odds of him having an A are pretty strong. It's a very tough play to make. It's risky. It does have a lot of upside, though, if it doesn't get blocked. And it's not easy for him to block if he doesn't have an A. So it's an interesting idea for sure. I don't know. I don't love Bracken. I mean, it gives back a bit with this B over here, also the Bracken's hook. So I think I'm probably more inclined to play Carb. What I don't love about Carb is it takes an O for Carbo, and I don't have that. So I don't know. I don't really like any of my options all that much. I guess Bracken going for the maximum turnover is probably a bit more my style traditionally. I do tend to like going for turnover for the blanks, so maybe I should just stick to that. I guess Bracken versus Carb, so Bracken gets me 6 more points, a little more turnover. Puts a B in the triple line, which really isn't that scary at all, to be honest. A is considerably weaker than AEN as a leave. So from an equity standpoint, it's probably close to a wash. Tough call. And then there's this really aggressive back play. I mean, I guess what are the odds that he has an A? So his rack is probably pretty random after plays like Vary and Kip. So 6 A's out of 76, so it's roughly 6 times 7 over 76. Yeah, he's too likely to have an A. It's not a good idea. He's probably at least 50% to have an A, I would estimate. So it's too risky to play back, I have to imagine. I think I'm going to go with Bracken. It's just a bit more my style to turn over more tiles this early in the game. Alright, so he does get down Hughes for a large score, which I was slightly worried about. Oh man, colorway almost fits. That would have been pretty nice to get that down from the C, but unfortunately that would put an L in front of the PE, so it's not quite going to work. So I'm going to need to find something better. Maybe arrowy? I'm pretty sure that's good. Yeah, yarrow and arrowy, I'm almost positive are both valid. So that's not a bad option. Scoring 40 points, taking out the B, is also blowy for 39. So I have a few decent options here. Huh. I think I prefer arrowy to blowy. It's close though, because OL is not a great leave. AOR is not particularly good either, but the R is a bit better than the L for bingoing. I don't love though that there's an A here, an A here, an R floating. It does go well with this E. So it's a tough call. I think I'm going to play arrowy, and I think arrowy is probably a bit better than yarrow, just because yarrow gives back pretty big scores in this top left corner. I guess arrowy takes a front M for marrowy, but I'm not too worried about that. So I'm going to go ahead and play arrowy. Okay, he plays Oxter. Kind of a clunky draw for us here. We're close to Fire Plug, which would be pretty cool, but we're one tile off of that. So I'd love to play Fui somewhere, maybe PFUI, but I don't see a good spot to play that. Could just play Uglify to clear out as much of this rack as possible. Yeah, the other options I have here are pretty bad, and pun intended, they'd probably uglify my rack even more. If I play something like Ulv to try to just block this spot, ILGPU is absolutely disgusting as a leave. So I don't really want to do that. Glob is terrible, keeping FIPU, that's so bad. Yeah, I'm going to just play Uglify and try to get rid of as much of this stuff as possible. Okay, so this is looking a bit better now. We have the Z. Do I have anything good with my? I don't see anything actually that uses the M and the Z, which is a bit disappointing. We're very close to Marzipan, which would be pretty cool. Is there really nothing with the M and the Z? Mozo, Maze? No, nothing works. So I guess I have Azon. That's not bad. 44 keeping NPR. That's still a pretty good play. I have to imagine that's got to be best, unless I'm missing something. But yeah, I don't see it. So I'm going to play Azon, Caught, and another rough draw for us. So it seems like both me and HastyBot are drawing pretty badly so far. No one's really had any big plays, and no one's bingoed. So pretty slow start for both of us. Still 2 blanks unseen and 3 S's. Very few of the really good bingo tiles have been used. So it could be a pretty heavy scoring finish to this game with 2 blanks and 3 S's unseen. We'll see. What do I want to do here? This is a really bad rack. I wonder if something like Puri is crazy, because I have the M. There's a, I guess there's an H and a B. There's not much else that could really hurt me there, though. It's funny, because like most of the high point tiles have been used. So like the blank is super heavy, or excuse me, the pool is super heavy on like blanks, S's, and really good bingo tiles, but it's very light on scoring tiles. There's the H, the J, the V. That's about it. I mean, there's the B and the C too. But like Q, X, Z, K, most of the 4-pointers are all gone. So Puri might actually, as reckless as it looks, might not be unreasonable with that pool. Also sets up my N for Puri, and I kind of like it. I just don't have another way to score really anything while getting rid of a U and an I. I think I'm going to go for it. Okay, so he plays Harding. Finally a bingo. I have minions. I don't think I have a place to play it, which is a shame. No 8s here. I think I need to just settle for mini. So at least I do get to capitalize on my score here. I don't have unionism or misunion either, unfortunately. Huh. Yeah, minions doesn't quite fit with Purin, so I think this is as good as I'm gonna do. Bingos again, and I draw garbage. Yikes. That was a draw of DDHJ. I don't know how I managed to draw DDHJ from that pull. That is really, really bad. And yeah, I think we're pretty much dead here now. Because how do I even clear out this rack? I guess I have to play Josh. It's 43 points. I mean, if I can draw a bingo somehow to DDN, and he has like 6 or 7 vowels and can't score, I maybe still have some outside chances. Wow. How do I draw 3 Ds and 2 Ns to that in a vowel-heavy pull? That's just wild. Wow. Okay, I think this game is now officially over, because I just have absolutely nothing here. I mean, what the heck do I even do? Gland? Keeping TDN again? I'm down 90. I mean, I can't score anything. I guess if I play Gland, maybe he doesn't have an S. Like, what if I draw Soddens or something? Maybe I have some chances. I don't know. Or Inland? I mean, for spread, it's probably better, but like, I don't think this ever actually wins. I think if I want any chance whatsoever, I need to do this. So I'll give myself a shot. Okay, I do pull an S. He's got some vowel trouble. I could fish for sounded if I play off an L. Problem is, I'm down 100, and that's probably not going to be enough. So can I like score some more points so that if I do hit something there, it'll be enough? What if I play duo? So I could draw, but what can I draw? Is Eniled and Siled Linseed isn't going to fit. Indoles isn't going to fit. Lindy's isn't going to fit. Nestled. Yeah, nothing actually fits. So that's not going to work. OD here? Does that... Sundial? No, I can't even get that. Unsolid won't fit. Wow. Can I play sound now? That empties the bag. I need to draw bingos in 2 spots. That's not going to happen on this board. Maybe I do just fish for sounded? I don't know. Maybe... What if the bot, like... Against the human, this never works. Maybe the bot plays 4 tiles, empties the bag, and sounded is somehow enough. I doubt it. But I don't have any better ideas. Alright. Not gonna work. I don't even draw the tile I need. I'd have Stounded with an E. Not gonna work. He's playing Evite to go out in multiple spots as well. Might not even break 300 this game. Wow, this is pitiful. Unless I can block both Evite spots, which I may actually be able to do if I can play a 4 here. But I don't even see a way to do that. Or anything under here that'll be long enough. Can I actually not block both spots for Evite? What if I play like... No, Ton doesn't do it. Tons? No. I might not even be able to. Maybe here. What if I play Udon? Now can he not go out? Maybe he can't go out now. Yeah, because Evite doesn't work as a parallel. There's nothing through that N. But now do I have an out? I can't play Udons, of course, because of Evites. Yeah, I guess... No, I can't play Sound. Yeah, the problem is now I'm not actually going out with DTS, so that's not ideal. What else do I do? Undo doesn't give me an out either. I mean, it still has to be best for me to block his out, even if I can't go out next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. Oh, well, he gave me an out, so that was probably a weak play by him in the end game, but that's fine. So I'll just go out with Ted's, and ugly game. 406 to 292 lost. Just really couldn't get anything going there. I mean, I may have not played great, but I definitely think the tiles were a bit rough, and then towards the end he got the blanks 2 turns in a row and just kind of ran away with it. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm not surprised that Hasty Static likes playing EQ or Q, but I'm exchanging here every time. I think for just 10 points, keeping ACEN is well worth the sacrifice over AE, and in addition to that, just not giving anything for him to work with. So he plays very... Yeah, Conj is playable here, but I think the Koveri hook is really, really strong. AECN is a great leave, given that, and I have this Aro and Ovary to work with, so Ego has got to be the best play, I think. He plays Kip, and yeah, this turn I struggled with. There's a bunch of mediocre options. I eventually played Bracken, which I think is fine. I could have played Carb, or I didn't really like Crab, of course, because that gives back a big hotspot here with the vowel next to the triple letter, so I didn't like that. I didn't consider Caber. I feel like at that point, though, I might as well, if I'm getting rid of my E, just play Bracken, take a few extra points, take the extra turnover. So not really a fan of that. I don't think a back has much merit over Bracken either. Back I did consider, if there weren't so many A's on the scene, I think I would have done it. But he's likely enough to have an A and hurt me there that I don't think the setup for a back is quite strong enough. I could maybe be persuaded otherwise that back is worth playing, but I think at this point in the game, I'm not down that much. Just playing for turnover, playing a bit more soundly with Bracken is perfectly reasonable. Of course, back would have actually worked out pretty well here since he didn't have an A, but I can't know that. I might have gone with through if I were him in this position, saving the S for Bracken's. 12 is a bit of points to give up, and NRT is a strong leave, so it's debatable. Hughes is perfectly fine here. I think personally I still would have gone with through and probably scored with Bracken's next turn, but can't really fault him for playing Hughes. Oh, low boy. Wow. I have not seen that word in a long time. I actually barely even remember it. It's one that hardly ever comes up, and yeah, that would have been a bit of a better play here, just keeping AR instead of LO. So Blowy does come up a little bit higher on static, but I think given that I give back this big spot, he could hit me pretty hard with racks or something there. So I think Arrowy is fine over Blowy, also just turning over the extra tile, but Lowboy is pretty clearly the correct play here if I see it, as AR is way better than LO, and this also scores 2 more points. So that's a sizable mistake. Not an insanely huge mistake, but it's a fairly big mistake, unfortunately. Okay, so he plays Oxter, and Upo here, no. I'm definitely not doing that. I'm very surprised to see that ranks higher on static. It's 4 more points, but FGIL is pretty ugly. So I think Uglify is totally the correct play here. Just get rid of as much of the garbage as you can. Keep OP, which is a pretty solid leave, and try to build towards a better rack on the next turn. Yeah, Azon looks fine here. I didn't miss anything better in that spot. So far, other than missing Lowboy on that one turn, I think I'm playing pretty well. Oh, Unrip. I didn't see that. However, I think it's a pretty bad idea because it takes an E for Unripe, and there are, let's see, 7 E's on the scene. There's also 3 S's for Unrips. So I should have at least seen it, but it's a pretty tough play to stomach. I think Puri is fine. Like I said, it's deceptively not scary, this spot. There's only 1 H unseen, 1 B. There's no Q, no X, nothing like that. It's actually pretty hard, given the unseen pool, for him to score all that many points in that spot, and I do keep an M. So it's a counterintuitive play, but I think given the pool, it's a good play. He, of course, doesn't have scoring tiles, but he has great bingo tiles, and bingo's up there. Minions doesn't play, so I'm forced to just cash in Mini, and then he gets down Ackroyd. At this point, it's looking extremely bleak. I'm down 116. I just drew DDHJ on a 4-tile pool, so not much to do other than playing Josh here. But of course, to add insult to injury, I pull another D and another N to my, another D and another N to my DDN leave. So I've got 3 Ds and 2 Ns, and there's just not much to do here. I play Gland, hoping for a miracle. Maybe I draw Sounded or something like that. Doesn't quite come to be. I draw sound LD, and for lack of better options, I just went with a one-tile fish here. If I play sound, I'm just never going to win since I'm emptying the bag, and there's really nowhere left to bingo. If I somehow draw something next to this D, then of course it'll just be blocked on the next turn. So really nothing better to do than play off an L and hope to draw sounded, but of course he plays so be it, and I really just don't have much to do here. Most of these plays, if not all of them, that the bot suggests, I guess, no, I can't play Sud, that gives back Evite. All of these plays are going to give back an outplay to him of Evite somewhere. So I think my play of Udon is reasonable here, just not allowing the bot to go out. And then if he wants to play off his tiles with Event, he gives me an outplay of Ted. So overall, other than Lowboy, I think I played pretty well this game, to be honest. There were no other obvious mistakes. There were some questionable plays. Bracken was debatable. Puri was definitely non-standard and debatable, but generally, other than the play of Arrowy where I missed the Lowboy through the B, I'm happy with how I played. Just the tiles really didn't treat me very well, but it happens, and you know, I definitely can't say I played perfectly because Lowboy would have been a clear improvement over Arrowy, so we'll never know what would have happened if I had done that, but yeah, there you have it, guys. So a pretty rough loss for us here, but again, thankfully the series is already clinched, so hopefully we can get back to our winning ways in game 89, but for now, HastyBot is going to try to claw back as close as it possibly can and make the final score as close as possible. So credit to HastyBot for hanging tough, even though the series is already clinched. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens in game number 89. So thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you all there. Have a good one, and see you soon. Bye-bye.